It's your girl, it's your girl, it's your girl, it's your girl. Y'all, what's up? Listen, today's video is going to be about broke and retired. Now, how you gonna mix them two together? Because it ain't gonna never work. But I'm gonna show y'all what I did, because I did not prepare for retirement, but I'm enjoying retirement to the fullest. So enjoy the video. So I'm gonna give y'all some little bullet points that I thought helped me along the way before I retire. Some of the things that you can do before you retire. First of all, are you 40, 50, 60, 70, 30, 80 and still working? If you are and you're living paycheck to paycheck, what do you plan to do once you retire financially? You should be preparing right now for the day that you walk into work and say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to retire. You know, that's what happened to me. One day I walked into work. I was 62. I was 62 at that point. And I walked into work and I was like, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. So I decided almost like at the split of the moment that I really wasn't going to do it anymore. I had been thinking about retiring, but then when the job got so, I don't know, hectic or more than what I wanted in this stage of my life, I decided that I was done, right? So, but before that, I had not financially saved a nickel. Y'all, when I tell you I had not saved a nickel for retirement, I had not saved a dime. I had no absolute retirement plan. I was one of those living paycheck to paycheck. I was raising 2 small children by myself. I was a single parent. I was doing all I can to keep the mortgage paid. All I could do to pay the RG&E, the lights, the gas, put food on the table. I was doing all I could to put clothes on my children's back, to get gas to go back and forth to work, like the regular things that you're doing right now. So I thought, I don't have a dime to put in the bank and save for retirement for when I get 62. I'm only 30. I'm only 40. Why do I have to save now? Well, y'all, listen. One day I woke up and I was 62 years old. When I tell you that came up so fast, so quick, it looked like I went to bed 30 and woke up 62. Y'all, I'm not even playing. And I'm 66 years old right now. So I just want to help you to not do what I did, but do what I've learned in retirement. So if you're working and you're only being able to work, you work paycheck to paycheck. If you miss a paycheck, then you're in the hole, or you're borrowing, or you don't have enough. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. If that's you, I'm talking to you, because one of these days you're going to wake up and you're going to want to retire. So what I did, I worked 2 jobs. I felt like I didn't have a choice. I worked at the Rochester City School District for almost 30 years. I think it was 20 something years. And then along the way, I would work part-time jobs. I would go straight from the city school district's administrative assistance position to working in a nursing home doing administrative assistance. And then when I stopped working at the nursing home, then I went straight from the Rochester City School District to the YMCA, working the front desk. Why did I do that? Because I needed to make ends meet. I had 0 money to save for retirement, and that's exactly how much I had when I retired. $0 in the bank for retirement. And you don't want to do that. That was not a smart move. That wasn't a great move. It was actually kind of crazy to retire with no savings, right? So let me tell you how I made it from that point to this point, right? My job, and I don't know if, I don't think all jobs offer a pension, but thank you, Jesus. Thank God that my job had a plan for me, obviously, because they offered a pension. And after I decided to retire, I started to do my research with my union, you know, finding out if I retire, how much pension would I get, how long would it last, you know, and all of the important information that you need to find out from your union or about your pension, because I found out that I would get X amount of monies a month for the rest of my life. So I was like, y'all gonna pay me for the rest of my life to not work? and then found out that I would get more in retirement than I did working. So I was like, make that make sense, that I continue to work after 62 and make the same amount if I retire. Let me get at some thought. I'm going to retire. And that's what I did. So my pension worked out great, right? But then I retired at 62. They told me I would, that I would qualify for my pension at 62 with the amount of years that I had on the job. And that's exactly what I did. When they told me I could retire at 62, I didn't retire at 63. I didn't retire at 62 and a half. When I tell you, baby, I retired to the day of 62 years old. I think they gave me 62 and some hours or something like that. Promise you, baby, I retired the second they told me I could. So I was straight with the pension part, right? And then after I retired, I also started getting my Social Security. Now, when I retired in 2020, my Social Security was great. I don't know how Social Security is going to hold up or be when you retire, because I'm hearing all these crazy things. Oh, Social Security is going to phase out, or it's not going to be there or whatever. But I thank God again that my pension was there and Social Security was there. So if you're still working and you're only 20 or 30, you better be saving up some money, because what if you don't have a job with a pension? And what if they phase out Social Security? What are you going to do in retirement? You are going to need some finances. You're still going to have a mortgage or a rent or rent. You're still going to have to pay for lights, water, gas, insurance, food, phone. So much more. The same things that you're paying for now, you will have to pay for those same things in retirement. The world is not going to change around you because your situation changes. So you have to make sure that you prepare now while you have a job. Prepare for retirement. Prepare for when you no longer have a job. Because y'all, let me tell you about health insurance in retirement. When I retired from my job, because I was 62, my job allowed me to keep my health insurance until I turned 65. But the day I turned 65 on my birthday, my health insurance through my job was automatically canceled, and I had to sign up for the old people insurance, which is that red, white, and blue card. It's called Medicare. Medicare. I get Medicaid and Medicare mixed up. Medicare. Medicare is the red, white, and blue card that you get when you turn 65. And my job dropped my insurance the minute I turned 65, and I had to sign over to Medicare. But Medicare doesn't offer much. It doesn't offer much. Keep that in mind. Medicare does not offer much. It's part A and part B, which is totally confusing when you're coming out of the workplace into retirement. What does plan A and B mean? Well, plan A on Medicare is hospitalization. Plan B is medical, where it hardly covers nothing. So what I had to end up doing was taking money out of my Social Security and paying for more health insurance. And Social Security really isn't that much money per month. So just imagine if you're getting, I don't know, I can't even remember off the top of my head how much you're getting a month, and then you have to take a couple of $100s out of that little bit of money to pay for health insurance. Because if you don't, you still got to go to the doctor. This is the thing. When you're a senior citizen, you still have to go to the doctor. You still have to get your checkups. You probably end up going to the doctor even more because you are a senior citizen. And I found out once I became a senior citizen, your body started doing things that you really didn't expect it to do. So you're back and forth to the doctor even more often, right? And then there's those copays. It's just these special tests that they want to run that's not covered through Medicare. Y'all, listen, please hear me and hear me well. I'm telling you from experience. You have to be prepared for retirement. And to me, the best way to prepare is to save something. Even if you can only save $5 every pay period. Just imagine if you do $5, $10 a month for 20, 30 years, you're going to have a pretty amount of money saved up. And then plus, if you have a job with your pension, and hopefully you'll get Social Security, you won't be so strapped for money once you retire, because I found out that when you retire, they take a lot from you. They take your health insurance and then make you want to pay out of your Social Security. They take your dental from you. Then you have to figure out what you're going to do for dental. Then your eye exams, how are you going to pay for those? So let me tell y'all a little bit of what I did. For my dental, AARP actually offers a dental program, and the cost is very low. I can't remember how much I pay. The cost is very low, and it's called Delta Dental, and you call AARP to sign up for Delta Dental, and they'll give you the information that you need. That's the dental insurance that I have, and it's great. But I do have to pay for it out of pocket, but it's not, I mean, you have to have dental insurance, right? So you may have to pay for it out of pocket because Medicare does not offer dental. So I got the dental through AARP, and then I also pay for a prescription rider too that's attached to my Medicare card. Y'all, does this sound confusing? Because it really, really is confusing. I remember when I retired and they told me I have to research and find my own insurance. Man, when I tell you that was a journey. When you retire, they are going to be sending you papers in the mail. Get this insurance, get that insurance, get this insurance. And you're going to be like, I don't know which insurance is best, because you're just coming out of the working field and now you want me to make some decision on health insurance and I have no idea what I'm doing. Y'all, you're going to have to do a whole lot of research. So you have to make sure that you are computer savvy, that you know how to work a computer, that you know how to Google things, that you know how to chat GBT things, that you're on top of knowing how to text, and like being social media savvy is going to be important to you, because you're going to find yourself having to look up a whole lot of different companies to figure out what do you do in retirement. What's the best health insurance? What's the best dental plan? What's the best eye care? You're going to have to do all of that because, like I told you, Social Security is not offering much money per month at all. And then they take out for your medical out of your Social Security check, straight off the rip. It's like paying taxes. You don't have a choice but to pay it. It comes right off the top. And I'm not exactly sure. I think it might be close to $200 a month. I'm not even sure. Don't quote my numbers, but Social Security will take that money right off the top. Before you even get a check, they're going to get that money for Medicare, right? Medicare right off the top. Listen, y'all, but do your job have a 401k? You may not have a pension, but does your job have a 401k? If your job offers a 401k and will match what you save, please, please, please do that and try to put an extra $5 or $10 in every pay period. You will be able to have that money to fall back on once you leave the job. And if you're able to invest in anything, any kind of investments, make sure you're doing that. Now, I'm telling y'all stuff that some of this stuff I didn't do an investment. I didn't do the 401k plan. I didn't save any money in the bank for retirement. This is why I can tell you that it's necessary to do these things. But one thing I did do, and that I would suggest for any and everybody retiring, pay, if you have a car note still, do not take a car note into retirement, because it won't be a good thing, because you'll be paying all these other things out of your Social Security check, and then on top of that, to have a car payment, you won't be able to eat, because it's just no way you'll be able to eat with a car note and all of these other bills that goes along with life. You might want to eat every now and then. You might want to put some gas in your car. You might want to buy a burger every now and then. You might want to get a gym membership. You really should invest in when you retire, because you want to stay mobile. A body in motion stays in motion. If you retire and sit still and wait to expire, that's exactly what will happen. You have to continue to stay mobile. You have to continue to stay active. Even though you're not getting up, going to a job every single day, you need to get up every day. Don't lay around on the couch eating bonbons and Tootsie Rolls and all of that just because you're retired, just because you can. Don't sleep all day just because you can, because I'm telling you, if you don't move your body, you won't be able to move your body. Just saying. I have a YMCA membership, and they offer a scholarship. So I suggest that you apply for the scholarship. I pay $20-something a month for my membership to go to the YMCA. Any YMCA, as long as they're open, I get to go for I think it's $21 or $20-something a month. So make sure, if you need a gym membership, you can even do the application online for the YMCA. I think it's called a scholarship. And then they ask for your monthly income and why you're asking for the scholarship. Just let them know what your income is and why you're asking for the scholarship. I definitely got the scholarship. I know plenty of people that has gotten the YMCA scholarship. So it's not that difficult to get. You just have to apply because you want to stay active in your senior life. And then listen, let's say you don't want to do none of this. You're like, this just sounds like too much. I don't want to do none of this. When I retire, I'm gonna get on Medicaid. If you like that, I like that for you, right? So just say you don't want to do any of this. It sounds like too much, and you're just gonna do Medicaid through Department of Social Service, right? Remember this: Medicaid is a loan. They're not giving you anything. If you get on Medicaid, it is considered a loan. If you go into a nursing home and they pay for that nursing home, or if they pay for medication, because they will give you food stamps, they will help pay your rent, they will give you Medicaid, insurance, all of that. But God forbid that something happens to you and you pass away, and you thinking that your family is going to get your house, your family is going to get your car, your family is going to get the money that you have in the bank. No, they had that loan that Medicaid paid for you for all those years that you were on Medicaid. They're going to want their money back, right? How do I know that? Because when my mom passed away, she was on Medicaid. She got the health insurance. She got the food stamps. She got the whatever they offered her. And when she passed away, they held her insurance money from us until they found out if she had a house that they could get, if she had any monies that they could get. And then once they found out that she didn't have a house, she didn't have anything, then they released the insurance money to us. They were not going to release the insurance money, or were they not going to take anything she had. So because she did not have a house, and this is how this works. If you know you're going to retire and all of this sounds like too much and you're just going to lay back on Medicaid, if you have a house, they go back 5 years from the time you apply for Medicaid. So 5 years from the time you plan on retiring, you better do something else with that house. You better sell it. You better give it to one of the kids, your grandchildren, your kids. Do something with it, because if you get on Medicaid, which is a loan, and you own a home, your children 9 times out of 10 is not going to get it, because now it has to go through probate. It has to go through all these things. Department of Social Service, y'all gonna want their money back. They're gonna want every nickel of their money back. So that's why they're so eager to loan you this Medicaid money. I can't tell you how many letters I got from Medicaid saying, oh, you qualify. How do you know I qualify when I hadn't even applied? Because they know you're retired and they know I own a home. So of course I'm going to qualify. Y'all not getting my home. So I denied Medicaid because I don't want it. Okay. Because I want everything that I've worked for. God forbid something happens to me. My children and my grandchildren deserve everything I've worked for. So you know what I did? I put it all in a trust, y'all. I put everything I have in a trust. You know why? Because that supersedes everything else. That supersedes Medicaid. That supersedes a will. That supersedes what mama told me, what I thought mama wanted. The trust supersedes all of that. Does it cost a couple $1,000s? Yes. But is it worth it at the end so that your family gets what you want them to get? Yes. I have a trust, and so my stuff is kind of locked in. I put the house in the trust. I put everything in the trust, my car, everything inside my house. Why? Because God forbid if something happens to me, I don't want the state to get anything. Come closer. Not anything. I want my children to get everything that they deserve because it's mine and I worked for it. So that's why these are the things that you have to think about before you retire. And some of these things I'm telling y'all, I promise you, I just learned this stuff after I retired. So I want to do a series on broke and retired, because I'm not broke, and I don't want you to be broke in retirement. I still get to travel when I feel like it. I still get to eat what I want to eat. I still get to pay all my bills. I still get to enjoy life. And when I tell you, life is even more enjoyable now that I don't have to go to someone's job. I get to do what I want, when I want, how I want, because I am satisfied in my retirement life, y'all. And this is what I want you to be able to enjoy in retirement. So I want you to continue to follow me on this broke and retired series or journey, because I want to continue to share with you what I learned in retirement, so that when you get ready to retire, you can use some of these points to make your retirement more enjoyable. Listen, y'all, I will see y'all in my next broke and retired video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing this video, and I'll see you at my next video. Bye-bye.